Good day everyone, I'm Engine Kalipurusa, and today we were going to discuss how the Ericsson cycle works in its application and also the formula. So first of all, we were going to discuss what is the Ericsson cycle. So Ericsson cycle is an ideal thermodynamics cycle that presents the operation of highly efficient heat engine. So named after the Swedish engineer John Ericsson, this cycle is particularly notable for its theoretical efficiency, which matches the Carnot cycle. So, the highest efficiency any heat engine can achieve when operating between two temperature limits.
So, for continuations, the Ericsson cycle consists of two isothermal, constant temperature, and two isobaric, constant pressure process. It is also utilized regenerations, a method of recycling heat within the system to improve efficiency. While it is not commonly used in practical engines due to the difficulty of maintaining perfect isothermal and isobaric conditions. The Ericsson cycle remains important in thermodynamics as a conceptual model that helps engines understand the limit of heat engine performance. The cycle is loosely related to other ideal cycles such as Stirling and Brayton cycles, but stands out due to its combinations of processes and its ability to theoretically achieve Carnot efficiency under ideal conditions. The applications of Ericsson cycle, it is mostly used in theoretical studies and academic simulations, and rarely used in practical engines due to high complexity.
Now let's talk about the PV and TS diagram of Ericsson cycle. The Ericsson cycle is an idealized thermodynamic cycle that consists of two isothermal processes and two isobaric processes. It is often compared with Stirling and Carnot cycle and designed to achieve high efficiency. The cycle operates through four processes. First one is isobaric compression between 1 and 2 in the PV diagram. Second one is the isothermal compression between 2 and 3 in the PV diagram. And the third one is the isobaric expansion between 3 and 4 in the PV diagram. And the last one is the isothermal expansion between 4 and 1 in the PV diagram. Now, between 1 and 2, as you can see in the PV diagram, isobaric compression, the gas is compressed at constant pressure and the volume decreases, and heat is rejected in this process. Now, between 2 and 3, isothermal compression, the gas is compressed at constant temperature. Pressure increases while the volume continues to decrease. Heat is rejected to keep temperature constant. Now between 3 and 4, isobaric expansion, the gas expands at constant pressure while the volume increases, and heat is added in this process. Between 4 and 1, isothermal expansion, the gas expands at constant temperature. Pressure decreases while the volume increases. Heat is added to keep the temperature constant. Now let's jump to the TS diagram. Between 1 and 2, isobaric compression, temperature decreases and entropy decreases. Between 2 and 3, isothermal compression, temperature is constant and entropy decreases, and heat is rejected in this process. 3 and 4, isobaric expansion, temperature increases and the entropy decreases. The last one is isothermal expansion, which is between 4 and 1, temperature is constant and entropy increases. Heat is added in this process. That's all for the PV and TS diagram.
As for the formula, first we have the heat added during isothermal expansion, which is QA equals to R times T sub HIN, which is V2 over V1. This happens during the process where the gas expands at a constant high temperature, increasing the volume from V1 to V2. Next, for the heat ejected during isothermal compression, the formula is QR equals to R times T sub C, or V3 over V4. This is when the gas is compressed at a constant low temperature and its volume goes from V4 to V3. Now, to find the work done by the cycle, which the formula is W equals to QIN minus Q out, or simply work output is heat in minus heat out. Now let's solve. For the thermal efficiency labeled, which is equals to NEC equals to W naught equals over QIN equals to QIN minus Q out over QIN. Then we substitute the heat formula, which is equals to R times T sub H IN V2 over V1 minus R times T sub C IN over V3 over V4 and R times T sub H in V2 over V1. At this point, we apply volume relation based on the cycle, which is V2 over V1 equals V3 over V4. This means that the natural logarithms are equal and they cancel out, so we are left with NEC equals to TH minus TC over TH. Finally, to express this as a percentage, we multiply by 100, which is NEC equals to 1 minus TC over TH close parenthesis times 100%. This is the same efficiency as the Carnot cycle, showing that the Ericsson cycle is ideal and irreversible. Now, moving on to the nose section for clarity and volume and pressure. P3 equals to P4 and P2 equals to P1. This shows that the process 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 are isothermal and occur at constant pressure. From process 1 to P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. From process 3-4, which is P3 V3 equals to P4 V4. We also simplify the volume ratio, which is V2 V1 equals to V3 V4 to V1 V2 equals to V4 V3. This helps in simplifying our efficiency formula earlier. And that's the breakdown of the key formulas used in the Ericsson cycle.
So we have the example problem. Here enters the compressor of an Ericsson cycle at 300 Kelvin. 1 bar with a mass flow rate of 5 kg per second. The pressure temperature at the inlet to the turbine are 10 bar and 1400 Kelvin respectively. Determine A, the net power developed in kilowatts, B, the thermal efficiency. So we continue, or I continue. So the first is we need to solve the Ericsson cycle, or so the next is we have the 4 processes for Ericsson cycle. I think this cycle is the same to Stirling cycle based on my research, but I continue. And the first is we have the 2 isothermal processes there and 2 isobaric processes, and as you can see look at the cycle, and we have the numbering this to guide, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So the 1 and 2, they have a QR or hit rejected, and the 3 and 4 is we have a hit added. And the other side, they have the temperature high and temperature low. So may dapat lang tayong memorize, and may dapat lang tayong i-memorize. I forgot the formula of efficiency, sir, is efficiency equals 1 minus TL or T low, temperature low, and over temperature high. So let's go. And we need to memorize. Dapat yung temperature niya naka absolute. Okay, so we have may binigay ako na initial condition. Okay, as you can see, the initial condition is enters the compressor. Okay, so ang compressor niya ay doon natin makikita sa 1, and doon natin makikita yung compression process sa 1 and 2. So ibig sabihin dito yung compression process. Okay, yung compressor niya nandito sa 1 and 2. So ang T1 natin is 300 Kelvin. Temperature 1 equals to 300 Kelvin, and the P1 equals to 1 bar, and the mass is equals to 5 kg per second. Okay, saan po ba yung turbine? So as you can see, wala pang turbine dito, guys. Pag tinakpan ko to, walang turbine. Okay, so saan makikita yung turbine? So ang compressor natin ay sa process 1 and 2. So ang turbine natin ay nasa 3 and 4 process, and then 3 and 4 yung turbine natin. So ang compressor ay mag-compress ng gas. So dito naman sa turbine ay mag-expand. So ito ang compression and expansion. Okay, obvious naman dito siya mag-expand at dito siya magko-compress ng gas. And then sorry guys, and then kaya sinasabi sa problem na pressure and temperature at the inlet at the turbine yung 0.3. Okay, dito na malabas yung 0.3, yung temperature at pressure 3. The P3 is equivalent to 10 bar. The temperature 3 is equivalent to 1400 Kelvin. Kung mapapansin nyo, ating temperature ay naka Kelvin. In terms na Kelvin, so no need to convert. In terms to Kelvin, so no need to convert. So ating T1 equals 300 Kelvin. Dagdagan lang natin ng equal temperature low, and then dito naman sa temperature 3 dagdagan natin ng equal temperature high. Okay, and dahil kung bakit? Dahil equal sila dahil isothermal. And then sa T4 sa T3 or temperature 3 is equal din siya sa T4 or temperature 4. Okay, continue. Sa problem natin, dapat determine the work need or power. Okay? So dito, ito na yung nasa problem niya. Kailan ba magiging kilowatts kapag yung work naka kilojoules? Okay? Kilojoules per kilogram. I-multiply natin ng mass flow rate. So ibig sabihin, kukunin natin yung work net, then multiply natin sa mass flow rate para kuha natin yung power in kilowatts. So yung thermal efficiency is tinatanong din. So what is the thermal efficiency? So mas madali magsimula dito sa thermal efficiency. Kasi meron na tayong divide. Formula lang guys ha. Formula lang. And we need to use this formula. And we need to write it and substitute the A for efficiency equals to 1 minus TL over TH. And so substitute equals efficiency equal 1 minus 300 Kelvin over 1400 Kelvin. Close parenthesis, multiply natin ng 100%. So, wait lang guys. We need to multiply it. So, ang kinalabasan, efficiency equals 78.57%. Okay, yan yung nakuha natin sa efficiency. Guys, based on the problem that the net power developed, kukuhanin daw natin yung work net. So paano natin kukuhanin yung work net? We need this formula, work net equals QA and minus QR. Okay. So, pwede din natin siya makuha sa formula ng thermal efficiency. Ay, sorry guys, hindi nyo nakita. Ito yung gagamitin natin sa pagkuha ng work net. Work net equals QA or heat added or minus heat rejected. So, pwede din natin siya makuha sa formula ng thermal efficiency. So, efficiency kasi is work net over A. So, yung power developed, yung work net is efficiency multiplied by QA. So, ito yun. Kita ba guys? Efficiency equals to work net over QA. Ito yun guys. At meron na tayong efficiency. Paano natin kukuhanin si QA? Saan ba nangyayari yung heat addition process? Yung heat addition process, nandito siya sa 3-4. Dito sa isothermal expansion. Yung process kapag daw isothermal yung process natin, pwede natin gamitin na QA equals MRT. Pwede rin MRT, pwede rin PV. Sorry guys, di nyo nakita guys, sorry. QA equals MRT or PV. And Di ba nalala nyo is na kapag PV equals to MRT. Ito yun yung formula ng PV. Kulang ng V. PV. At depende sa given. Dahil ang given natin ay mass tsaka temperature. So, ang gagamitin natin ay MRT. Multiply ln ng V4 over V3. Paano yan? Wala naman tayong volume. Nahihirapan pa tayong magkuha ng volume. Sa equivalent ang V4 over V3. So, saan pa ba to equivalent? So, maghanap talaga tayo, guys. Di ba ang process ng 3 at 4, ito 3 at 4, this so isothermal. So ang isothermal, ang relation volume at ng pressure ay inverse proportional sa V4 at V3. Ito yan, sa V4 at V3. Equal yan. Equal P3 P4. Ito yun. P3 P4 equals to P3 and P1. So, masusolve na natin ito. Substitute the values. So, ito yung gagamitin natin na formula. QA or heat added equals MRT then ln equals to guys ln to V4 and V4 over V3. So ito yung formula na gagamitin natin para makuha yung heat added. Okay, and the next substitute QA equals to 5. The mass natin is 5. Ito yun 5 mass natin 5 kilogram per second, close parenthesis, multiplied, pwede rin alisin na yan, or 0.287 kilojoules per kilograms per Kelvin. So nagtanong kayo kung paano natin to nakukuha. Explain ko yan, guys. So ang value ng R, di ba? Ito yung R. Ito yun, 0.287. Ano bang pinag-uusapan natin, gas? Gas, air. Ano ba ang R ng air? Kapag po metric, di ba? Kilojoules kapag metric. So yan, yung 0.287. Okay? Next. Compute muna natin. Wait lang. Ito yung gagamitin natin na formula kapag kumukuha tayo ng heat added. Heat added equals MRT ln multiplied by V4 over V3. Dagdagan natin yan ng parenthesis close parenthesis, 1400 Kelvin, and the ln is 10. Okay, yan. So we need to compute this. To compute the work net, the heat added, answer is 4625.89 kilowatts. So this kasi hindi pa tapos, hindi naman yan tinatanong. Ang tinatanong is work net. Para makuha natin yung work net, we need this formula again. Work net equals to efficiency multiplied QA, or heat added. So work net, so substitute work net equals 0.7857 multiplied by 4, 6 to 25.89. So yeah. So the work net is 3,634.56 kilowatts. So power on work developed in kilowatts. So yun na solve natin na QA. Okay, and that's all.
The Erikson cycle is a thermodynamic cycle that theoretically offers a high efficiency, particularly when compared to other cycles like the Brayton cycle. It is characterized by isothermal compression and expansion processes, along with regenerative heat exchange. While theoretically impressive, the practical implementation of Erikson cycle can face challenges in achieving the idealized conditions.